Want to know how to sell more than 60,000 shares on Empire Avenue? Well, that's easy. Simply be absolutely dedicated for months and have a knack for writing. Now, in case you're looking for a more immediate way to boost the sales of your shares, stay tuned for an Empire Building Network sales tip. Hi Empire Builders, Bill Pitcher here. Today I want to talk about selling 8,000 shares in 5 days. In my case, rather high-priced shares. It started a number of days ago when I upgraded and sold 5,000 shares, selling out again in 3 days. That took me to yesterday where I upgraded once more, and since then I have sold 3,000 shares. Now, there are a number of reasons for doing this. One is when you're high on the leaderboard, you do tend to attract those people that buy people in the top 10. Certainly, those folks that have been number one have reported especially a significant buying for being number one. That closely relates to momentum buying, where I've had people buy my shares because other folks were buying my shares, and they see the movement in share price and they see the activity, and so they buy in too. I've discussed value versus momentum buying a fair bit, and I plan to blog on that some more in the future. Content is really what the Empire Avenue team wants to be at the heart of people buying your shares. Your ability to engage an audience and to share material with them. And some people choose to invest in influencers because directly of that content and that engagement. Other people invest because such engagement and materials leads to good dividends, and so they're investing in good dividends. The success that I've had in the last few days, though, I don't think is solely attributable to those items. I believe that there is another factor at play. Certainly those items have made a difference, but to take me sort of to a level of selling that I don't think I've really experienced before, I think it's been a part of a recent strategy that I've been using, whereby I have been buying something back from everybody that buys from me. I've been doing that for a while now. But as well, anytime I get a new investor buying me for the first time, I go through a process of basically connecting up to all of their social services. Now, this is not synonymous with following folks that you are sort of most interested in. What this is me doing is choosing to follow folks that support me, and that's the way that I've chose to do this. But then I also tend to shortlist through the recommended publications and content lists and things like that, and through Twitter lists, those people that I'm sort of most interested in following their content. Here's an example, I have to read this, of the kind of thing that I would say to a new user. I'd say, thanks for the buy. I always buy back some, and I long-term hold shares. That's another thing I do. As long as you're on the site, I'll hold your shares. To help with your Empire Avenue influence scores, I listed you here, and I followed and listed you on Twitter. I sent you a Facebook friend request. Please feel free to accept or decline this, I add. I added you as a contact on Flickr and commented on a couple of photos. I do that on some occasions. Added them, subscribed to their YouTube channel, and if their blog is there to endorse and it looks like that it's their content, I'll endorse their blog. I say that. And I say all part of the ERZR, the RZR ticker, investor services. So all part of the Razor investor services. Cheers, Bill. You know what? It's probably a lot easier to read in text form, so I'll include it in this post. that it was to read like that. But I get some very interesting responses back to that. People just, sort of like, wow, thanks for doing all of that. And I'll post some of those replies as well in this post notes. So I think that this strategy really sort of says to somebody, wow, here is somebody different, and here I am sort of giving away something I consider to be a competitive advantage. But very few people are going to sort of follow this. So if you decide to be one of them that really says, I'm going to make a point of actively connecting with this person and letting them know that I've done it and that I'm going to long-term support them, I believe that you'll be one of the few to really start attracting support. Because what I find is that I might have had somebody originally buy 5 shares. I'm not cheap, so they tend to buy, a lot of people buy in modestly to begin with. And then they come back time and time again to buy more, and it's all because of my buyback strategy and because of really starting the relationship on this strong footing using this approach. Now, you might be thinking, well, you've got lots of wealth, you can be doing that. But with the number of shares that I now have outstanding, I am making 10% on people's purchases. And at a share price of about 85 EVs, that means I'm making $8.50 a share. So that when somebody buys 10 shares, that's 85 EVs. If you're a 20 EVE share at the moment, and you're making 50% still on your money, which you probably are at 20 EVs, then you're actually getting $10 a share. So you're getting more cash to play with than I get. So I don't buy these people if they buy 50 shares in me. I don't turn around and buy 50 shares in them. 50 shares in me would deliver me, just north of 400 EVs, and that's how much money I'll spend back on them roughly. And then I try to save my daily dividend money that I earn to pay for the next upgrades. So this is really a strategy that can be used at just about any share price. In fact, I think that it's probably easier for those at lower share prices because people can, better afford your shares and buy more of them. So anyway, that's about it. Feel free to ask me questions about how this has worked, but it is an increasingly successful strategy for me. A final note. I thank people for every buy, and between sort of welcoming new investors the way I do and thanking them, that is a fair bit of effort. There are times when I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got 30 notifications and I've got to go through and respond to each one. But I find that putting that effort rather than putting the effort into finding the best investments and figuring out which ones to sell so I can buy more has worked well for me. So I've really switched my activity. That means that my dividends are that I earn from other people are not as high as some. So I am not one of the wealth leaders, but I am attracting so much share income that I am building wealth reasonably well that way, and I've tended to focus on share price and not wealth creation. I think of myself more as an investment opportunity than an investor, I guess. Anyway, now that really is it. I'm done. Thank you very much. Good luck with your own trading and selling of your shares. Until next time, I'm Bill Pitcher. Happy empire building.